First tonight at 10, polling for Tanner. A community brings back an old tradition for one of its youngest residents. Plus, recently released video giving us a new look at the rampage outside Lambeau Field in December. And later, survivors of the Parkland shooting holding an event in Milwaukee tonight. We'll take you there straight ahead.
This is News 3 at 10.
Good evening. Thanks for joining News 3 at 10. We're waiting for the grand finale of today's Shake the Lake event. Any moment now, the fireworks will start flying, lighting up the sky over downtown Madison. Let's head down to John Nolan Drive right now. The day was filled with activities from live music to local food and the popular human cannonball launch. A big crowd out there tonight anxiously waiting for the show to start. The fireworks will be set off from several barges floating in Lake Monona. We'll go back live to check out the show when it starts. And here is a live look from our Edgewater Skycam. Those fireworks will be going off right behind the Capitol there. And the weather today has really held up. Isn't that right, Dave?
For the most part, Keely, for the most part. There have been some close calls over the past couple of hours with a couple of just really light showers that have formed across southern Wisconsin, but the one shower that is the closest to trying to ruin our parade and our festivities in downtown Madison, I think will just pass to the east. So that's good news. I don't think in downtown Madison we'll have to worry about any rain tonight. Now for McFarland and some other spots, that may be a little bit of a different story. But in downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, we are looking good right now. Temperatures are in the 60s and 70s, still at 71 in Madison. Dew points in the 60s and 50s, so still pretty comfortable outside. Wind speeds really not a factor with high pressure over us. Day planner for tomorrow starting off in the upper 50s, but we will get into the 60s and 70s pretty quickly. Highs should reach the low 80s. We do have a chance of seeing some showers and storms tomorrow. We'll time out your chances in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Dave. Well, new tonight at 10, less than 2 months after a farm accident left a boy in Livingston critically injured, he is out of the hospital. News 3's Adam Duxter shares how his hometown is supporting him with an old tradition.
That's right, Keely. 9-year-old Tanner Kleist is out of the hospital, and now his community is continuing to show support in a unique way. It's a tradition that dates back decades in Wisconsin. But in this community, it's been more than 35 years since it last happened. But when the town of Livingston started planning this tractor pull, they had a special purpose in mind.
You'll have that now and then.
The guys from Boscoville just one night just said, let's do a benefit pull for Tanner. And you bet, let's get it going.
Tanner Kleist is only 9, and in April he was sent to the hospital after an accident on his family farm. Members of the Livingston community knew it was important to support him.
It was good. It was a good thing to do. Kids doing well, and he's one tough little fella. I know that.
Now Tanner is out of the hospital and back in his hometown, a place his family knows is there to support him.
It's just everybody comes together when something like this happens. Everybody's like family to, for like this. So I mean, it's really amazing.
An old tradition for a good cause, in a community that cares.
Livingston is a great place, and it's got some really great people in it.
Bill Graber, who we saw just now, told me he called 10 potential sponsors to try and raise money for the event. Now, out of those 10 he called, he said 9 said yes right away. And the last time we caught up with Tanner, he was still in the hospital, so now he's out and about. Definitely something we are glad about.
What an excellent follow-up. Thanks so much, Adam. Well, as trade tensions between the world's 2 largest economies escalate, the U.S. agricultural industry is on high alert, considering that soybeans are America's leading agricultural export with over $21 billion in sales last year. Those farmers are on edge. A whopping 62% of U.S. soybean exports go to China, and now that Beijing has announced a 25% tariff, tensions are mounting. According to economists at Purdue University, the Chinese tariffs could slash total U.S. soybean production by 17%. The president spent the day in Las Vegas, Nevada, meeting with supporters, addressing the Nevada Republican Party convention, and the president, who touched on everything from North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to immigration and tariffs.
Now we have to work on our trade with China because it's been very tough on our country for very many years. Our presidents did nothing about it. And we probably lost last year $500 billion in trade to China. Think of it, $500 billion.
The president says he needs more Republicans in the Senate to be able to pass everything from an infrastructure package to comprehensive immigration reform. A rally on State Street today, community members spoke out against the Trump administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy that has separated families at the nation's southern border. Hundreds of people gathered on Library Mall before marching to the state capitol. A nationwide Families Belong Together protest is also being organized for next Saturday. Survivors of the deadly high school shooting in Parkland, Florida are in Milwaukee tonight pushing for change. The group was in Madison and Janesville yesterday. What many of the students and other activists agreed on was that the March for Our Lives movement had been inaccurately characterized as opposed to the Second Amendment. They are instead emphasizing that their priority is public safety.
This is not about trying to take your guns from you. This is about keeping our community safe and literally saving people's lives.
The students from Parkland are survivors of the February 14th massacre at their high school that took the lives of 17 people. After the tragedy, the March for Our Lives effort was formed. Overseas tonight, thousands of people marched through central London on the second anniversary of the Brexit referendum, asking the UK government to give British people a vote on the final Brexit deal. The rally was organized by several pro-EU campaign groups. Organizers say that if Brexit's deal is rejected by the UK Parliament, British people should have a vote on any final terms of UK's exit out of the EU. Planned Parenthood is suing the federal government. Multiple affiliates filed litigation in district courts in Spokane, Washington, and New York. The organization is accusing the Department of Health and Human Services of making changes to its funding guidance that favor abstinence-only approaches to curbing teen pregnancy. Well, back in Madison, a fiery crash early this morning left one person dead and another in the hospital. It happened at the intersection of John Nolan Drive and South Blair Street in downtown Madison. Officers say both cars were engulfed in flames when they arrived on the scene around 3:30 a.m. Lanes were closed for about 5 hours. The names of the people involved have not been released. Newly released video is giving us a new look at that car rampage in Lambeau Field's parking lot in December. The video is from Don Hudson Center across the street. It shows Che Vang and his white Pontiac Firebird on the right side of the screen driving through the parking lot when it smashes into several parked cars. Police say Vang was upset after being fired from a food service company. Police say a man tried to steal upwards of 50 pairs of shoes from Easttown Mall last night. Police say they were called around 5 about a retail theft at Dick's Sporting Goods. According to a blog post from Police Chief Mike Koval, the 45-year-old man allegedly took items from Marshall's as well before being arrested. Police say the stolen goods were worth nearly $1,800. More than 70 people are now suing the catering company Del Monte after they say their vegetable trays made them sick. These trays, sold all over Wisconsin and Minnesota at Quick Trip gas stations, had vegetables tainted by cyclospora parasites, commonly found in third world countries. Quick Trip pulled the product items from its shelves and says it's complying with health officials and state investigators. Well, the fireworks show in downtown Madison is just kicking off now. Here is a live look at Shake the Lake. Fireworks launching from several barges on Lake Monona. Organizers say this is one of the biggest fireworks shows in the state. Now, John Nolan Drive, remember, between Broome and Blair Street closed until tomorrow morning. Let's listen in. And Madison College is trying something new today in hopes of encouraging more diversity among firefighters. It's showing people, especially women, what it looks like on the job. Less than 10% of firefighters are women. That's according to the National Fire Protection Association. But day-long training events like the one today at Madison College is giving women a little firsthand experience on what it's like to be on the job. MATC fire instructor Amanda Hornig says when it comes to firefighting, gender doesn't matter.
If you look at men and women, it's not just about strength, it's about, technique and working as part of a team.
Madison College students can go for a fire protection technician associate degree and a fire service certification. Today's event on campus was free and lasted 8 hours. Instructors hope to have similar activities in the future. The metal band Pantera has lost a drummer and founding member. Vinnie Paul passed away today at age 54. His passing was announced on the band's Facebook page. He helped form Pantera with his brother in the 1980s. Pantera's third album, Far Beyond Driven, debuted at #1 in 1994, and the band's music was nominated for Grammys in 1995 and 2000. Some good news today from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Fewer Americans are smoking than ever before. The latest estimates from the CDC show about 14% of all adults smoke cigarettes. That's the lowest level recorded since tracking began in 1965. Researchers also found people living in large metropolitan areas smoked significantly less than people who lived in rural areas. Well, still to come tonight, a day to celebrate the arts and giraffes, plus local teams getting ready for the upcoming all-city swim meet with a few changes this year. A preview straight ahead. Welcome back. Area arts and crafts collectors are in Sauk County today, checking out the Spring Green Arts Fair. Local arts and craft vendors joined with food vendors today for the 49th fair. Besides satisfying the needs of art collectors, the event raises money for organizations throughout the Spring Green community. Organizers say it's a great way to bring new people to the area.
We want to bring people to the community, and then we give back to the community.
The organization has raised more than $1 million during the last 50 years. Also today, the Henry Violet Zoo is observing the first World Giraffe Day. Families who came to the zoo were treated to up-close views of giraffes and other giraffe-like animals to learn more about these threatened species and how we can protect them. Attendees were also invited to make food for the zoo's giraffes, Wally and Eddie. The zoo partnered with the Giraffe Conservation Foundation for the event and was accepting donations for the cause. Well, local swimmer clubs are making a splash this summer, but expanding the traditional definition of team. Madeline Westberg has that story.
9-year-old Riley Ganshert.
It's exciting.
Is jumping in.
I've been watching the swim and dive meets for like 6 summers.
This summer, he joined the Monona Swim and Dive Club.
So Riley seems like a typical 9-year-old boy. What you don't see is some of the struggles that he faces day in and day out.
Every swim club in Madison is trying to make sure that swimmers like Riley have the chance to participate by joining the Unified Swim Group.
Everyone really deserves to be part of a team.
Brian Johnson is a parent at Monona Swim Club and felt that all kids should have the same opportunities as his.
It makes me really proud that Monona is kind of one of the teams that's leading this charge.
This is really our second family.
Riley couldn't agree more.
My coach's name is Jennifer, and she's the awesomest coach I ever had.
So this is his opportunity to really be a part of that community firsthand and get the love from everyone we have around us.
The Unified Group at Monona has 5 swimmers this year, but hopefully that number will grow.
The goal is really to make sure that every kid can join our team. And when we say all, we really mean all.
And after 6 years of watching from the deck of the pool, Riley is testing the waters.
I'm happy that I get to do swim this year.
Madeline Westberg, WISC News 3.
Monona is hosting the All-City Swim Meet at the end of July. More than 2,000 swimmers will participate. Certainly beautiful weather today, Dave, for swimming.
Yeah, we actually saw the sunshine for the first time in seemingly forever. The clouds did come in the afternoon, and a few showers, as is tradition by now, did form later in the evening. But the good news, and why I was yelling at the radar for about a good hour, the good news is that that shower did miss Madison just in time for Shake the Lake fireworks. So we don't have to worry about that necessarily in Madison. As we zoom in on Dane County, we could see that storm turned right just in the nick of time. Really just a shower, not really a storm. No thunder or lightning with that. Heading through Dunn right now, closer to Cottage Grove over the next 15 minutes. And that is the payoff right there in downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. Beautiful display of fireworks over Lake Monona. And the almanac for today, we are looking at right where we should be. Today's high of 80 is normal for this time of year. Nowhere near the record set back in 1995 of 96 degrees. And as far as temperatures go, today we should be right about where we should be for this time of year, but throughout the month so far, we've almost had as many warm days as we've had cool days. So far, the monthly departure, though, is more along the lines of warm days because of that very warm weekend that we had last weekend. And warmer temperatures are on the way if you're a fan of more typical hot summer weather. Excuse me. I'm not a fan. That's why I could barely get that out without coughing. 71 in Madison, 70 in Janesville right now, 66 in Watertown, and 68 in the Dells. Dew points in the 50s and 60s, so still pretty comfortable even with a couple of showers in town. Wind speeds out of all directions, actually. We have high pressure over us, so really that wind is not a factor. Not looking at very breezy conditions until maybe into later this upcoming week. High temperature trend, well, hopefully we get a high pressure trend. That would keep the rain away, but temperatures are hovering around 80 degrees over the next couple of days, but then the heat and humidity back on. Mother Nature sends it our way by the time we get to the middle of next week, with temperatures touching 90 and heat index values in the low to mid 90s at times. For tonight, partly cloudy and seasonable with temperatures in the upper 50s as we head into tomorrow. Sorry, folks. getting a little choked up. That fireworks display was so beautiful. 80 for tomorrow, partly sunny with a slight chance of showers and storms. Future track showing that slight shower and storm chance as a cold front is nearby, and it's close enough that it could fire off just a couple of showers and storms. Monday is looking nice overall with temperatures in the upper 70s, but then later on Monday, that's when our next good chance of showers and storms arrives. So maybe a couple hundredths of an inch of rain with the rain tomorrow, but the bulk of that rain is coming Monday night into Tuesday. We could have some pretty heavy downpours at times, as well as some stronger thunderstorms during the day on Tuesday. We'll monitor that very closely. Your 7-day forecast showing those temperatures touching 90 by the time we get to the start of next weekend, and really hovering around 90 degrees in temperature land. Heat index values in the mid and maybe even upper 90s at times. So that typical summer weather, it'll get here before you know it, so let's enjoy temperatures near 80 while we can.
Absolutely. It's nice to see those temperatures. I thought they would never come.
Yep. Well, there you go. It's all for you, Keely. All for you.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. All right. Well, stay with us. How did Wisconsin natives do after day 2? We'll tell you from highlights at the AmFam Championship next in sports.
Well, American Family Insurance Championship host Steve Stricker in the lead coming into today's round 2, but tough day for the Edgerton native who put up a round over par for the first time on the Champions Tour. But first, a better day for Madison native Jerry Kelly on 17 here. Nails the birdie putt to those boisterous cheers of supporters. He loved that. 4 birdies for him today. Defending tournament champion Fred Couples on 18 here sinks the par putt. He's among the top bunch as well. Stricker on 13 here. Check out this approach shot. He got a pretty nice spin on the ball here to get it going back towards the hole a little bit. Almost makes it, but didn't quite get there. Having some struggles, though, on the greens today. 3 bogeys and a birdie for him on the day. So he drops down to 14th place, shooting a 74. Jerry Kelly 1 stroke above him, tied for 6th. Esteban Toledo soaring up 15 spots for the outright lead, but it's a very close competition throughout. Leaders tee off on the front 9 at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, a big attraction today, the celebrity scramble of former Packers quarterback Brett Favre, 2-time U.S. Open champion Andy North, 5-time World Series champion Derek Jeter, and Hall of Famer Lee Trevino. What a bunch there. Favre and North paired up together with Jeter and Trevino, showing off some of his putting skills there. North and Stricker have been a part of this event from the very beginning, and it never gets old to give back.
Great example, the 4 caddies that we had today, all paid, money going to charities to be able to caddy for us today. So thank you for doing that. And Jack, thank you for giving us the opportunity to do this. And we're gonna have a great Sunday, and Strick's got to go out there and shoot 62 or something, doesn't he?
Ooh, no pressure at all there for Steve Stricker, huh? Yesterday, Jesus Aguilar homered twice to help the Brewers beat the Cardinals. And today, it was Yadier Molina helping St. Louis beat the Brewers in a similar fashion. But first, Aguilar contributing again in the form of a sacrifice fly. And then later here in the first, Brad Miller making his Brewers debut with an RBI single to score Lorenzo Cain. Brewers taking the 2-0 lead. Cardinals cutting the deficit in half. Yadier Molina there with a solo shot to center field in the second. And then another Molina homer to come back and more today. The Brewers lose 3-2 the final. The 2 teams back at it at Miller Park with Julius Chassin on the mound at 110. Cubs and Reds at Great American Ballpark, top second here. Reds down 2-0. Wilson Contreras driving one out to right for the solo shot. Cubs down 2-1 at that point. In the third inning, bases loaded for the Reds. Anthony Descalfani. A big hit out to left. It's a grand slam. First one by a Reds pitcher since 1959. Cubs lose this one big time, 11-2, the final score. More action from the World Cup today. Mexico and South Korea. Mexico already beat South Korea disappointed me, though. It's okay, though.
Yeah, it didn't start your morning off on.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Thanks so much, Melissa. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Beautiful day today. Should we expect the same tomorrow?
Well, a couple more showers and storms could come our way with temperatures in the upper 70s, near 80. A couple of blips on the radar are still diminishing tonight. Your day planner for tomorrow. Good amount of sunshine, but again, a chance of some stray showers and storms with highs near 80. We do get better storm chances to come for the middle of next week. Humid conditions with temperatures in the 90s.
Looks pretty great overall. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.